remember the generation of children from season 1 of the docuseries, Our Story, 1968, Indian Civil Rights? The generation of children from the civil rights era fighting to help end segregation and helping their elders fight for Indian civil rights. Whatever happened to those people after King's assassination in 1968? Well, I'll show you. This is them. This is also them. And yes, this is also who they became. In a matter of 9 years into the 70s era, after watching their elders fight, struggle, and even riot while trying to reconnect themselves to their identity on their homeland, knowing that they were the reclassified American Indians of North America, how did they go from fighting for their identity as American Indians to saying no more marching, we're going to take our respect, to showing the whole entire world how good they looked even during the struggle, and then trading all of that in to become African slaves from a jungle with no history? We should talk about this, tribe. See you soon. Season 2, Our Story, 1977, Roots. Halito tribe, what's happening? This your boy Chief Cali checking in, man. I got the one and only Chief MICAH in the building. I want y'all to understand we are working on season 2 of Our Story. Last season we did Our Story 1968, Indian Civil Rights. This year, we're moving into the 70s. We want to know what happened to those people of 68 who were fighting for Indian civil rights. And right here in front of me right now, I have the brother Chief MICAH, who will be a new member of the cast for season 2. How you doing, brother? How's it going with you?
I'm all right, man. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm great, man. I really want to take a second and thank you very much for your time that you've given us to interview with you for season 2 of Our Story. Now, I'll tell you this, when it comes to how we, choose cast members and stuff and the people we reach out to, Slim Bull is executive producing this project, and it's not many people that Slim reaches out to. You know what I'm saying? It's not many people that Slim is usually me out. I usually go out and I try to, reach out to people, and Slim takes care of everything else. But Slim actually reached out and wanted to bring you on. So when you guys gave me the call the other day, I already knew who you were. You know what I'm saying? So I was good. I just want to thank you for being a part of this project. And I would just like to ask you, what do you have going on? Let the people know who you are. What do you have going on with yourself, and how do you feel about being a part of the cast of Our Story season 2?
Oh man, I like to say I appreciate you for having me, Cali, man. I've been following you for a long time, like I said, and I know how long you've been in this, man. So it's an honor for me to be able to rub elbows with you like this and be able to, you know what I'm saying, touch on some topics with you and stuff, man. I really do appreciate it, man. And I ain't have a chance to watch the show yet, but I'm gonna make sure I do it today, man, so I can really get in tune with what's going on, man. I truly appreciate you guys for having me and giving me a chance to speak on here.
Yeah. As we interview with you today, I know we just sent you the season 1 not too long ago, so I understand you probably didn't get a chance to check it out yet, and that's cool. But what you are doing for season 2, you are dropping some real jewels in season 2. For those of you who haven't checked out the docuseries, we have a docuseries on YouTube called Our Story 1968 Indian Civil Rights. It's on YouTube. All you got to do is type it in the search box. You'll see me pop up as the host of the show. We also have the Our Story TikTok, the Our Story IG, and the Our Story Facebook too. So for season 2, you really came through. You dropped the knowledge, a lot of knowledge about Chicago, Cabrini Greens, public Indian housing. These are a lot of things that they were fighting for back in '68 in the Fair Housing Act. And Cabrini Green projects was one of the first projects, out there, public Indian housing. You know what I'm saying? So you came through and you touched a lot on that. Are there some things that you would like to convey to the people as far as why it's important for us to tell our story, um, dealing with who we are, our identity on this land?
Yeah, it's it's vital to life, man, that this story is told. Because as I've been seeing us, more of us coming out with this, it seems like it's a shame attached to it. It's a lot of our people that see this stuff and they stray away from it out of cognitive dissonance because they're holding a different belief, and that's okay. Because a lot of us, many of us, and all of us have come through these various channels and systems. Whether you went to private or public school, you came through the same type of curriculum, and the shit was false. You know what I mean? It's false narratives. And that's the thing that we dealing with right now when you got guys like me, Chief Cali, and a host of other guys, Dan Colloway, and all of the real forefathers of this stuff that came before me, that I know about putting this stuff out. You have a lot of arson. You have a large arsenal to pull from. Those of you who trying to learn this stuff, this is vital to life for your children. Why would you see something of this magnitude and ignore it and discard it? When we can all agree, when we sit down, we could sit 50 so-called black people in this room right here, and we can all agree that we are missing our history, that our history been stole from us, we've been this, we've been that, and all these missing pieces to the puzzle. But when you got guys like me that been putting this stuff in your face, you know what I'm saying, over 10 years straight, it don't get appreciated, it don't get held to high regard, it don't get regurgitated like a lot of foolishness do. Our people too caught up in the television. So that, with that being said, if you caught up in television, that's why the truth not important, because you will never see the truth on TV. No, they only promote the people that keep you believing the
Confused.
bullshit.
That's right.
That's to no effect of you coming out of this psychological spell that been placed on us as a people. Our history ain't no mystery. There's no way a person could be walking this earth in 2024 and they ain't heard the truth about who the so-called African American that's walking his soil of his own land, his ancestral land, calling itself bywords and proverbs and all manner of foolishness. You heard about it.
Wow. Wow. No,
It
I
just, this stuff ain't important to us because we so tied up in the psyops that been enacting on us, and peoples that's like me that got true understanding of this, man. I do have compassion for the people because I know the things that we've been through and the stuff that been put on us, but it's no excuses for a person to see the truth and discard the truth. That just shows the type of person you are spiritually.
yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, when I say we have to find out what's really important to us. If you pay attention to me, I don't get caught up in a lot of the so-called beefs that go on amongst this community. I don't, you know, um, I stand for my people. I stand for my people. I fight for my people. But if you notice, like with me, I recognize that there's a bigger picture, which is our youth that's coming behind us, who's going to need these tools to go to war. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need these tools to fight. Um, I don't get caught up in a whole lot of that. I'm beefing with this person in the community, and they're beefing with that person in the community. if you pay attention, I've reached out to people who I've actually even bumped heads with in the community before, and I just look at it as a bigger picture. As we got kids coming behind us, and it's got to be important enough to us, for one, to preserve who we are. You know what I'm saying, on the land. Stop letting people wipe us out. They're slowly trying to wipe us out, but they see us slowly waking up also. So they're going to keep throwing out these little obstacles to try to knock us back down. If you ever notice, every time we get these little pushes of us waking up, here comes a new slave movie. Here comes a new slave narrative. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
Here comes them pushing the Native Americans more. Now we're seeing movies about the Native Americans and things. So they're always going to keep trying to push these things. So it's important enough. We have to find out what's important enough for us to change our conditions. Not only is it important for us to preserve who we are on this land, somebody's got your identity walking around your house, walking around your home, benefiting off of your benefits. Why don't you care? If you ask me, why do I care enough? Why do I care so much? Why don't you care?
This
Because
type that just hearing that makes it bother me, brother.
it should.
Just even the thought of that pisses me off.
And brother, I'm someone who actually dealt with identity theft before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to the point where I couldn't even go get someone had my identification, and I couldn't even go get another identification card because I didn't have my birth certificate or anything. So my bank accounts, my benefits, someone has access. So this is the same thing we're dealing with on the land. Why don't that matter enough for you? Someone has your identity in your home, in your grandmother's home, on your grandfather's land. These wars your grandfather fought in for this land, these acres of land your people owned. And it doesn't, you have people asking, what do you care about being an American Indian? You don't even understand. You have rights on this land as an indigenous person. Your own people had property here. They own things, businesses, land, and you don't care enough. So, like I said, I thank you again for being a part of season 2. Another thing is I would like for you, before we go, to kind of talk to our youth, because this is who I'm directing these docuseries at, is our youth, our parents, our grandparents. Talk to our families, talk to our youth, before you go, and I'm not gonna hold you up after that, brother.
Bet, man. What I gotta say to the youth, man, you know, from the background that I come from, I totally understand you. You know, I understand what you might have grew up seeing in the household, the things you may have been subjected to, the type of adults, the people that we would think are adults, the type of stuff that they subjected you to. But what you got to understand, overstand, and understand, as you grow, the more you grow, you're going to become more responsible for yourself. So if you seeing things, these conditions that we living in, they ain't right. What you got to do right now, what I wish I would have done when I was younger, man. It would have saved me a lot more trouble. You got to start trying to figure a way out of this instead of feeding into it, because it's real bad now. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you youngsters, man, you gotta change from thinking this gang culture and this stuff you seeing on TV that's being promoted to you is cool. It's not cool, because it's keeping you further away from what brothers like us talking about. You knowing who you truly are. If you don't live to be 20 years old, not only is you gonna like never find out who you truly are, you're gonna never live life to the fullest, and it's gonna be a sad situation. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at the situation that you in right now. If you living in the ghetto and you living in harsh times, you know you gotta try to figure a way so where you can get away from this place. You don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? We born into these type of situations, but that don't mean you gotta stay in it. You know, we got parents that's dealing with their kids running into the streets and stuff like that. You know, I don't know what to tell you except but to try to get your children away from these environments, because that's the only way.
Laws
Because
of attraction.
once as children, once we get learn behaviors, it's easier for you to never let us learn these behaviors than you to change them.
Facts.
You know, so if you got any type of love for your children and you want to see them survive, you got to try to make preparations to get them to higher grounds.
No,
Because
that's
these environments and the social norms in these environments, you can't whoop them. You can't beat these social norms. They too big. You know, you fighting a losing battle. Because if you know, when you go into talking about our communities right now, man, it's a certain type of vibration, and everybody on it.
right.
Everybody on it, man. We watch it every day. Us being guys that then made it out those cycles of life, we can look at it. You know, I don't look down on it, man, because I came from around the worst of the worst of them. And when it came to the point where I had to make a decision, did I want to live or did I want to die? I made a
Facts.
drastic decision, brother, so that I can speak on it from that level and tell a person, goddamn right, you talking about, oh, you gonna have the naysayers on here talking about, he talking like you could just pick up and move. I did it.
Yeah.
This how bad you gotta want it. I moved away from the ghetto. I moved away from the environment, the block where I was selling dope and heroin and doing all type of madness at. I wanted out of that so bad, came to the point where I wanted out of that so bad. I took all my bags of clothes, jumped in the car, and hit the highway and rode to another city, man. I ain't know a soul in the city. I said, if I made it right here, I could make it there.
That's right.
I rode out here where I'm at. It's about an hour away from out of the city of Chicago, another little small city in Illinois. And I came down here, I ain't know a soul. You know what I'm saying? It became my second home. I did it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to do. You got to be willing to risk it all. If you like love your children and they young enough to where they ain't been corrupted yet, you got to try to get them out of the environment and show them something different, because if you don't, the streets gonna show them
Somebody's gonna
something
show.
different than you want them to know, and it ain't gonna be nice.
Facts.
It's the pressures of the ghetto is so serious. It's no way you could get around it if you think you could let your children be subjected to these type of environments and it's not going to affect them. You out your man.
Yeah, that's right. One thing over here on this channel is it's always hashtag PTC, hashtag protect the children, hashtag PTWC, protect the women and children. Over here, we've always been on that. You have to, laws of attraction is real. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you can only play with that fire so much before you end up getting burnt. You can only roll that dice so many times before you end up crapping out. Laws of attraction are real. Not saying things can't happen to people anywhere. It's just the chances, the chances. So in life, we make decisions every day. And sometimes rewards come with those decisions, sometimes consequences come with those decisions. But back to our children, one thing I've been trying to do is lead the way of our people focusing more on our children. So, for instance, you have people trying to take little jabs at me in the docu-series, or me taking the children to the mounds. They call them little, you got people out here wanting you to go on little elementary field trips, they're calling it, little elementary school field trips. But here's the thing. What are you doing for those children? What field trips have you taken those children on? And don't we have to keep it kind of elementary for our children? See, my focus is our children. Most people are focusing on the same people they talk to every day. It's like going to church when you talk to them same adults every day. I'm talking to these children.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Like I just said before, I'm like, it's easier to prevent the children from learning the
Yeah,
bullshit than you could prevent them from learning all these bogus social norms, it's easier to prevent them from picking these things up than it is to stop them from moving in the shit once they then picked it up. Once they then took on these identities and these false identities and all this stuff that we trying to tell you is false. If you let your child go out and become a street person, a gangster that's smoking drugs, carrying guns, it's gonna be hard for you to stop that. It'd be easier for you to take them on the field trips and get them out the neighborhood and try to instill different values in them. Like the old good books say, raise a child up in the way, and when they get old, they will not depart from it. So if you raising your child up in the way, you're not paying close attention to what you allowing them to watch on TV. You letting them listen to all this filth. You letting them see filth in around the house and stuff like that, because we know what goes on in these communities, bro. We real
Right.
street guys, man.
Right.
I know who you is, Cali, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we real street guys. We really know we could really go into some hurtful things, but we not here to hurt the community. Because I
Not
know
at all.
what go on in the deep
Not
dark
at all.
spots in the hood. I could tell you exactly the type of shit that goes on in the trap,
Facts.
like the sick shit, the sickness. Some of these adults is
Also,
on.
yeah.
Like that I didn't see. I'm like, yo, man, when this was forbid, even the gangsters didn't allow this
Didn't
when
allow.
we was kids.
Facts.
The things that I see going on in the ghetto right now, the place is, the place ain't to be played with, man. Like, it's serious, man. We got to come against this type of shit because it ain't right.
And again, this goes back to the importance of our people, or what do you find important enough? So when I hear people make comments about, yeah, they out here taking people on elementary school bus field trips. Okay, my thing is this: that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. I hear you though. I hear the shots you're taking, but none of them children are sitting and watching most of these YouTubers videos. You have to go to them children. You have to get them children. So when we talk about the importance of enough, I find it important enough to get up out from behind my computer, get up out of my chair, gather my children up, gather my family up, and go out into my community and meet up with other families who have children, because I find it important enough that we need to teach these children, because that's how they got us. They hit us young with all this Africa stuff and all this stuff from school. So much so that many of us went against our own bloodline. We went against our own bloodline because as children, we went to their schools. They
And you went on
educated.
their field trips to the
We went on
museum
their
and all
field
these
trip.
places where they literally told you was a slave. They told you in this school system,
Facts.
Micah, open up on page 57 and start reading. And the first thing I'm reading right here is how the slave and all this type
From
of
the
stuff.
jungle.
So what I don't see what's wrong with you taking the children and showing them the truth, because that's what you're showing them. But we have people that have like what we call stinking thinking, bro. Stinking thinking to make a person alarm go off when they see you rounding up people to show them a different way, because these the same people they're gonna have to deal with if they start coming back around in a different shining light. Darkness don't like light.
Well, here's my thing to that, right, brother? I see you, and one of the people that I seen make this comment puts out good, very good content. But you're talking to the same people. You're talking to these same adults. You get what I'm saying? So why hate on me for going where you're not going? You're not going. You're not dealing with the children.
Yeah.
Why hate on me and what I'm doing? Because I find it important enough that I got to catch these children young with this information. Because remember, many of us were told young by our family members who we were. We were told
That's
young.
why we never strayed from it.
Hey.
We probably what we did, cats, like I know probably you have the similar type of thing that happened with you. If like I was raised getting taught about this. My grandma had statues in the house and stuff like this. She tell me. But what we went through was like going outside and the peer pressure of everybody else
Facts.
believing a different narrative. You just kept it to yourself for a long time. That's what happened with me. I always knew I was an
Kept
Indian,
it to yourself.
but I kept it to myself because I didn't want to be ridiculed, and I didn't
As
want to be.
many did.
Yeah,
As many did.
yeah,
But like one of my cousins said just now, everybody's not gonna be able to go. Threads 3000, one of our American Indian brothers. I shot his video for that video. He has a video out called Everybody Can't Go. You feel
mm,
what I'm saying? And that's what we're dealing with when you talk about that stinking thinking. You feel
yeah.
what I'm saying? So until we find it important enough. So um I'm gonna close out with this and I'm gonna let you have the last word on this. Just talk to our children about how important it is for us to tell our story and stop letting everybody else and listening to everybody else tell our story about us. What did your people say? So I'm gonna let you have the floor with that, brother, and I'm gonna let you close out on that.
Well, for the youth, it's important for you to learn your story first because you can't tell a story that you don't know back and forth. You got to learn our story like you know these raps. That's how important this truth got to be for you because you might have older people in your family. They are just what I just said. No offense. They're old. And so is they thinking patterns. They stinking thinking patterns. They are stuck on whatever dogma they was raised on, and that's what happens. You young, and what I'm saying, you got a luster for life right now. You're gonna go through different changes and become a certain type of way at the end. So what you need to be doing right now is learning your own history, doing the work on your own. Of course, your parents sending you out to school, and I'm not trying to speak against your parents because that's not for me to do. But I got to tell you, when you're going out to these schools, they not teaching you the truth.
Being educated by your oppressor.
You being miseducated.
Facts.
You being taught how to be a follower, an employee, and a slave. You're not being taught how to be an independent thinker because that's the worst thing they want. They don't want you to wake up and realize who you truly are. They don't want that
Definitely.
because it's a lot that's gonna come with that. Because you're gonna have to throw all that stuff away that they taught you in school. I'm trying to tell you right now, you don't want to wait till you 25, 30 years old to learn what we're telling you right now. Because it's a lot of pain gonna come with you having to discard all of this miseducation that you're getting right now. That's why a lot of people ridicule guys like Callie or guys like me, you know. But we don't care because we can prove without the shadow of a doubt
Who we are.
what we stand is true and factual. And we ain't got to get mad, loud, or disrespectful to do it. See, that's how laced up with this game you got to get, because we laced up with the game. You couldn't tell me or this man we was an African. If you put $1 million on the table, I wouldn't take it.
Facts. And you going and that's what and that's one thing you're gonna have to learn how to do. I don't spend my time arguing with uh uh I don't spend my time arguing with American born Africans. You feel what I'm saying? Trying to tell me I'm from somewhere else. And they're still talking to me about DNA kits. You feel what I'm saying?
How
I'm
you gonna take, bro? Hold on, bro.
not
Let me please touch on that. You cannot take spit and put it on a Q-tip and then send it somewhere, and they gonna come back and tell you from Zimbabwe. No, man,
yeah,
you can't
yeah.
do that. But let me ask you guys that believe in the DNA test so much. Let me ask you this. Why haven't they ever drew blood or any of this hair samples and compared it with these fucking
I,
mummies they found
yeah.
over here in these graves in America? Why they haven't tested none of the DNA? They don't have a DNA testing service for America, huh?
Talk your shit.
Do you guys see how foolish this stuff is? You cannot take spit and find out nothing about your heritage, none of that. You know what I mean? Like, no, man. You gotta come better than that. I seen people take swabs and put it in a dog mouth and send it back off to ancestry.com, and they came back telling the people they was from Africa somewhere. Man, we can't. That ain't gonna work.
We done seen twins take tests that's coming back with totally different DNA. We done seen triplets take tests coming back with totally different DNA, and the people at the universities tell you this is just simply entertainment, like entertainment value. Yes, you can find a couple family members or something that's, up to date, kind of, but
That's because they didn't submit their DNA too, though. That's because they have them in the database.
Okay.
And they like, oh, y'all, here's another one. You know what I mean? That's how that goes, man.
Yeah. So I don't really take my time. Like, I'm not arguing my bloodline. I'm not arguing my bloodline with some YouTube people. Some people who are obsessed with telling us who we are, but they can't find their family in Africa. But they get online every day and they can tell us everything about Africa. And one thing I keep telling y'all, the white man, they'll get on here and tell you about how the white man lied to them about everything, except for Africa and Jesus. Except for Africa and Jesus. The white man ain't lied to you about that.
But it ain't the white man ain't just lied. You see, the white man ain't lied to everybody, because some our grandparents didn't lie. Some of them, not mine, but some of our grandparents didn't lie to us because they bought into the bullshit. They went to the fucking college. They got Hellenized. They played Greek. They believed all this fucking bullshit. They came back to the community and they didn't give a fuck what type of truth they heard that was in contrast to the bullshit. They pushed the bullshit. Some of your parents push the bullshit. They'll tell us, man, just go listen to them people and get your education. That's not what we pushing.
That's big facts. That's big facts. That's big facts.
We telling you to come get your education. Self-education. Go look. I done put out a plethora of truths that cannot be touched, and over the years they still there. It's a lot of other brothers. You could just go searching for this stuff and you shall find. You know what I'm saying? You go looking down a rabbit hole, man, it's never ending. So nobody has an excuse on why they don't know the truth, fam.
Man, real talk. Listen, brother.
If you don't know the truth, you don't want to know the truth.
Yeah, and one thing about that truth, that truth don't need permission. It doesn't need your approval. It don't need your permission to show up in truth. Truth is just going to truth when it truths. It ain't got to tell you when it's going to show up. It don't care nothing about your feelings when the truth shows up. The truth is just going to show up, and it's going to bring some understanding to somebody. With that being said, brother, I thank you again. I just wanted to let the people know we are filming. We have been behind. Y'all haven't seen me online in a while because I am filming. We are looking to drop the second season in a couple weeks. I'm not sure how fast I'm going to get these edits done because we are still interviewing. So I'm not sure how if I'm gonna get these edits done in time enough for Father's Day, but that's what we're looking for is Father's Day. But don't hold me to Father's Day. But that's what we're looking at is Father's Day. It's trying to release the first episode. This brother right here on my screen, he will be all through season 2 of Our Story. We just ended a great interview with him, almost 2-3 hours. We interview with this brother, so you're going to see him in probably almost all the episodes of season 2. So once again, brother, let the people know where they can find you at, and I thank you once again for taking out the time to sit with us for season 2 of Our Story, the docuseries.
For sure, you can find me on Facebook. My name is MICAH King, MICAH KING, or you could just put in Facebook. You could put Chief MICAH, MICAH, and you will see me. It'll pop up. And I got a YouTube channel. I started back up because YouTube had erased some of my major channels I was doing numbers on, so I started something else back up, and you can find me on that. It's Kasik MICAH. It's CACIQUEMICAH, the truth. Cacique Micah, the truth. Cacique means chief. You know what I'm saying? Chief Micah, the truth. You could put Cacique Micah, the truth in YouTube. I got some heavy drops on there, man. It ain't for the weak. You know what I'm saying? Bring your thinking cap, because I'm dropping napalm. You did.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Chief Micah, I thank you for your time, brother. You will see this brother in season 2 of Our Story, man. Y'all be safe, be cool. The truth don't need permission, man. The truth is just gonna truth.
We're not asking permission. We're gonna tell our story, and you're gonna listen.